How do we develop godly character in children? Do we even have godly children these days? Is it a common thing? I believe yes. Someone would say maybe it's the company you keep. Then it's a good thing because I see a lot of godly children around. But in reality, if you look at what is going on around, the moral standards that you see on social media, which a lot of our children are fed on social media, it brings a lot of questioning. It brings a lot of, and whether it's anxiety, I mean, the things that you see on YouTube, on TikTok, that have been accepted as norm, does not resemble godly character. And godly character simply is Christ-like character. And we get this. I know I've shared this before, but my name is Essie. If it's the first time you have joined in, this is Children for Christ. Please subscribe. Do hit the notification button so that when new videos come in, you will be the first to be notified. And share and send in your comments as well. Thank you so much. So yes, how do we develop godly character in our children? Galatians 5:22 to the 23. It says that for the fruit of the Spirit is joy, peace, love, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Against such, there's no law. And read it and meditate on it. These are characters that we need to build in our children. And a lot of these characters is not going to be found on social media. And these are not even something like self-control. Everybody wants to be in control of even others. But we tend to forget that building self-control in us as an individual is the most important thing. Because if you have if you can exercise self-control, if a child can exercise self-control, I believe that even as parents, our talking will reduce. Because if the child is not supposed to eat a certain kind of food and they cannot exercise self-control, they will eat it. And all you do is every day talking and talking and talking. So I think it's that consciousness of knowing that we need to intentionally build self-control in them. And that means that, yes, sometimes withholding certain things. It's not everything a child needs that we should provide for them, to give them. The fact that a child wants £100 or $100 shoe does not necessarily mean that you should buy it all the time. Sometimes, not because you don't have the money, but you just need to let them know that you need to exercise self-control. And that, some of the long-term benefits of having godly character. And I know I'm just zoning in on self-control because that's very key. The long-term benefit really is that withholding something from a child, like the shoe, an expensive shoe, is they will learn to save. They will learn to put aside for a rainy day. They will learn not to consume and eat tomorrow's food today. And this starts now. And even as adults, we struggle with this. But that's because it hasn't been an intentional habit that has been born in us, that has been trained in us. So yes, the other thing is gentleness, love. Love is key. Love covers everything else. If you love yourself, you don't do certain things. You don't harm yourself. You don't self-sabotage. So teaching a child to love themselves, love who they are, and love others is very key. And sometimes, how do you even teach someone to love? It's just valuing. If you value yourself and value others, there are certain things you will never do. If you value human beings, you will not do the wrong thing to them. And I don't want to make it specific because every child is different. But the fruit of the Spirit is one. And those characters are one, and it's the same, and it applies anywhere. Doesn't matter whether you're black, white, whoever you are, it applies to all of us. Character of joy. We talk about these days, there's so much mental illness and everything. And some of it comes from social media, of us not being happy with who we are, thinking that the grass is greener somewhere else, but teaching our children to have joy with whatever they have, having that inner peace, having that inner, knowing that what they have is good for them, for where they are at and the stage of development they are at, and not looking on social media to see how others are looking, how even young girls, you see them, they're putting on makeup, and you don't realize it, that it is taking their innocence away. You cannot do without, even as adults. It's hard sometimes to do away with makeup. If you can do it, it's great. It's nice, I believe. Makeup is nice. But when you start early as a child who is still developing, your skin is changing all the time, you begin to want more. And after a while, by the time you realize they've gone into bleaching and changing so much about them when they have not even finished growing and developing. So yes, joy, patience, that is key. And you see, there are long-term benefits for developing these characters. My prayer is that as parents, we will see the importance of being intentional in building these characters, which is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, being kind. You don't find many kind people these days. But be intentional about it. Teach your children to be kind. Develop it. Test them out to see whether your child is kind. And they're kind to adults. See, those traditions that we had as children. When you see an adult standing on the bus or somewhere and a child is sitting, if you are 7, 8, they're very energetic. And they can. You hardly see a child giving up their seat. Or even teenagers. They think it's the norm. It's mine. It's my right. Yes, it's your right. But an elderly person who may have maybe knee problems, or even if they don't, it's just that respect. And then what? Goodness. Being a good person. I think it's something that as parents we should yearn. I yearn for these for my children. And I believe you do as well. But we have to be intentional about it. That is key. I think the key is being intentional. We all have an idea what we want. But it's one thing knowing what you want and having a desire. It's another thing being intentional to develop it. So how what we're dealing or talking about is how do we develop godly characters? And that we are standing on Galatians 5:22-25. The fruits of the spirits are the characters, the Christ-like character. I hope this has blessed you. I hope this has encouraged you to encourage your child to develop good and godly character. Please do subscribe, share with other parents. Don't keep it to yourself. And let's together raise godly children, godly characters, Christ-like characters. It goes a long way to help society and to help our families at large. You may not see it now, but your child is a future leader. Your child is a future president. Your child is a future doctor, a GP. Your child is a future gynecologist. And these characters, if you find them even in professional spaces, imagine the society we are building. Thank you for watching. My name is Essie. This is Children for Christ. Keep tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.